I'm representing a number of supermarkets and drugstores that had the audacity to give out a coupon if you bought so many groceries that would give $25, $50, $75 off your next flight, bought through a travel agent. What the hell's wrong with that? The problem is they were telling their consumers, buy your groceries from us and I can assist you with a coupon. They all got busted. Big fines. Except my clients who registered and, had to pay a lot of registration fees. What the law says is if you are going to tell somebody, I'll read it because it's hard to believe, that you're going to tell somebody you may or have assist with transportation, but it's got to be air or sea or with other facilities that have air or sea. And there were only one exception, and there were not to be any exceptions. We had finally, I was asked to help negotiate the new law. If it was bad, I at least took a lot out of it. But there were to be no exceptions. Who's the only parcel exception? Come on, 12 of you were here. 3A's was able to get a partial exception, and that happened after we did the law. Their lobbyists outdid our lobbyists, and they got a partial exemption. But if they realize what this is, it can be used to their detriment. What it says is those who are exempt are basically an air carrier or a sea carrier, and there's an exception to an organization complying with the registration of insurance code, Part 5 or something. What it is, it's an auto club. But they're not exempted from having to pay the registration fees. So how many of those 3A's that are here, maybe you don't want to raise your hand, are at least paying into California, even though you don't get the protection? Everybody here who's paying has, in essence, $1.6 million bond with the TCRC, the restitution fund. But since 3A's is exempted, other than having to pay, they don't get the benefit of this $1.6 million bond. They also don't get the consumer benefit of when they have to deliver tickets. That's what they were really, upset about. A California registered seller travel, when they have to return somebody's money, has to do it in 3 days. What? You buy your tickets from a consolidator, you're going to give back your money in 3 days? It doesn't work that way. I see we have a couple of good consolidators here, Asamano or so, old-timers. But how do you get money back in 3 days? The answer is you don't. And all of the provisions, all of the wording you have to do, you can't do. You use an electronic ticketing. That's the whole thing now. You phone up, they want an electronic ticket, go to the airport, maybe you'll send them a voucher, maybe you won't. You've got their credit card number, less and less paper, but all of these restrictions are still there. Who's included? Let me tell you the type of companies that have been busted over the years. Most alumni associations. You got alumni, you got Californians, most of them read and write or so they graduated from universities. And you're going to have this beautiful trip. I see talks here, so, one of their fine, adventure tours. But you've told the alumni that you can assist them with this trip. Be criminal violation if you're not registered. Church groups, trips to the Holy Land. The minister says we shall all go to the Holy Land next year. And of course, who gets the tour conductor pass? But that's all right. He doesn't have to be paid. He's getting the congregation to go, and he's telling a California, violation. If you tell somebody you can or may or have or will assist with air or sea transportation, you got to be registered. What a crazy law. All right, I'm not telling anybody. I just have a website. I am continually defending some of these heinous criminals who get caught with having websites to the consumer, because unless they have in big letters up front, if you are from California, I cannot deal with you because I am not a registered seller travel and not will put up with any of their garbage and do not want to register. That's it. Unless you tell the consumer, that's a violation.